Kevin Shea, who joins us on the line now. Kevin, thanks for your time today.
Edward, very nice to hear from you. I think we're all going good in Dubai.
Great to hear from you, Kevin. Firstly, congratulations on a wonderful career in the saddle.
Yeah, thank you very much. Unfortunately, it came to a shock ending, but that's the way the game goes, you know. You can't always know when your bones are going to collapse and everything. So, unfortunately, I had a back op and I've been refused to ride again by neurosurgeons and orthopedic surgeons and medical doctors. So, unfortunately, that's the end of me. So
was it those back issues that basically forced your hand in the decision to retire there, Kevin?
Yeah, no, I got to a stage where I couldn't even walk or anything, and then I went and had a scan done and tests and everything, and my L5 and my vertebra collapsed and was pushing on the nerves, etc. and so forth. That's why I had terrible numbness down the right-hand side of my body. So they went in and they done the operation and they fused my L4, L5, S1 with screws and rods and took bone off my hip and packed it in the bottom of that. And 6 months later, I'm pain-free and my movement's a little bit not so good on my back, but at least I'm healthy and I'm fine. And they recommended that if I ride again, if I have another fall or a bad accident, that whole fusion could go through my spinal cord and I end up in a wheelchair. So they're not prepared to pass me through that medical reason, and that's the end of the story.
No, understandably not wanting to take that risk. A wonderful career you've had as a rider, Kevin. Let's have a look at a few of the memorable moments. We'll start off here in Dubai with Ippy Tomby in the 2003 Dubai Duty Free. You won the Durban July the year before on her, and then her form when she came to Dubai for Mike de Kock was terrific. You must have been very confident heading into this assignment on World Cup night in 2003.
Yeah, absolutely. She was a phenomenal filly. You can actually remember her two prep runs, well, when I say prep runs, her two runs before that in the Alpha ID Fort in the other race. I mean, she had 60 kilos and she was giving the colts, some of the colts weight because the Group 1 horses from South Africa get a penalty. But then going into the duty free, that all fell away. And racing against the same horses, she had 55 on her back, so it was like a 5 to 6 kilo swing for some of those. I mean, she started a very short price favourite and she gave them a galloping lesson. Very, very special little filly.
What was it like to ride a Group 1 winner, your first international Group 1 winner for Mike de Kock on the big stage at Nat Al Sheba?
Yeah, no, listen, that was the beginning of the South African contingent in Dubai, so it was fantastic. And every Group 1, you know, is very special. So that one was very special too because we were just experimenting with the travelling, etc. and so forth.
And as far as horses that you've ridden in your career, where does she rate Ippy Tomby amongst the better ones?
Yeah, listen, she was very good. She did nothing wrong. She beat the colts. Sun Classic was also another very good filly, and the Eagle Mountain, Archie Pinker, and all these international horses that won overseas. They were all great horses. But there were a few in South Africa as well that never actually got to the world stage. At stage, you know, due to the travelling and the export, and it's just a nightmare for us to bring them, and the expense is so big. So there's still quite a few more in South Africa that stayed behind that was very, very good as well.
Let's wind the clock back 7 years ago and to Dubai World Cup night of 2008 when you rode Sun Classic in the Dubai Shima Classic. Potentially not the same set of expectations on this mare, Kevin. She'd come through a different sort of route compared to Ippy Tomby. She'd come through the fillies and mares races, but it was still must have been a big thrill for you to win on her on that night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was a super filly. She was more of a staying filly compared to Ippy Tomby. And we went into that race quite bullish, but they brought those horses, Viva Pataka and etc. from Hong Kong and that, and so you just never know what to expect. But she came through with flying colours and she was really, really super impressive. 3 starts, 3 wins, same as Ippy Tomby, 3 starts, 3 wins in Dubai. So two very special fillies.
We're just having a look at that replay now. Viva Pataka, who was the main danger to you in that race, he was a get-back, run-on type of horse. Was it always your plan tactically to get going early in the straight so that he had a decent margin to make up on you?
Yeah, no, well, what we done is we cracked a good draw. I think we drew 3 or 4 that day too, and she had the 55 kilos. And the trick with her was to get her going, because Nidal Sheba used to have quite a long straight, and get her going and give the other guys a bit of try and get a bit of a break on him, and actually that's what happened, and that's how she held him all up. I mean, Viva Petaka made every effort to get up to me, but I mean, he had a lot of ground to make up, and when they're good like this, it's hard to get past them and give them weight.
2 years later, you again featured on Dubai World Cup night, riding Lizard's Desire in the first ever running of the race at Meydan, one of the closest finishes in the race's 20-year history. Unfortunately, Kevin, didn't go your way on the night. Did you think when you hit the line that you'd won the World Cup?
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you, I did. I mean, I had Ahmed Ajebi next to me, and when we went past, he said, "Well done, you won." So I said, "What about the inside horse?" He says, "No, we were in front of it." So I took his word for it. But that Gloria de Capio was a real fighter, and yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, when people say to you, "Was it a bit disappointed?" No, it wasn't, because I mean, I was a rank outsider, and he ran his heart out. I just feel another stride he would have won, but I did think I'd got up that day. But anyway, I didn't. So we took it on the chin, and we drank our sorrows that night.
You at least turned the tables a couple of months later in Singapore on Gloria de Campo. Did that? The fact that you beat him in Singapore atone for anything in the World Cup, or is it still disappointing when you look back and recollect on what happened on World Cup night?
Yeah, listen, we'd love to have won the World Cup. It would have been so great for such a small little horse from South Africa, a local bred horse, to win. But to go back to the Singapore race, they made a jockey change, I think, which made the difference. And I think the guy they put on the horse, he went a little bit quicker. We had a lot of rain that night, and he only got caught in the last stride or two. I think if they kept the same jockey on the road in World Cup night, I think I would have been in trouble again.
You rode in Dubai for a number of years, Kevin, a lot for Mike de Kock, and in a time of change in Dubai racing, obviously going from Nat Al Sheba to Meydan. When you look back, what are your best memories of riding here in Dubai?
Yeah, I've done 10 seasons there, and I really loved the place, the professionalism. The racing was always good. You're racing against top jockeys. Racing was very, very clean. No, it was fantastic. We had some very special moments and memories there in the old Nat Sheba track, down that dirt track. It was absolutely fantastic. And then we watched the growth of Meydan, which is mind-blowing when people go there to see a race course at that magnitude, with the stands and the big screens, and then off. It went back to the poly track, or it's a Peter surface, and unfortunately it didn't last too long, and they've gone back to the dirt. And you hear all the guys, the Americans love the dirt, and I think that's what Sheikh Mohammed wanted to do, is get the American contingent back there. But yeah, no, it was a fantastic 10 seasons I had there. The people that I worked with and rode for was fun. We had success at Jebel Ali in the Jebel Ali Sprint. Yeah, no, it was fantastic. We took one of the old songs, I can't forget his name. We took him to the other track, that's right, the other grass track. I can't really think of its name, and he won over there.
Abu Dhabi?
No, listen, Dubai was fantastic to me, and all I can say is when other jockeys go over there, I said to them, if you get a chance to ride there, you must ride there today. It's a fantastic place. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Just a few quick questions to finish up on. Kevin, firstly, you must have ridden against a lot of jockeys, a lot of very good jockeys from around the world when you rode in Hong Kong, Singapore, South Africa, and also here in Dubai. Who do you rate as the best jockey you've ridden against?
Well, you get the Frankie de Torres and the Mick Canans and the Gary Stevenses. There was many of them that hold their own in any country and anywhere in the world. And when you see how Ryan Moore is riding now, I mean, Ryan was just starting to get going when he came to Nat Al Sheba. He was coming with horses riding for Clive Britton and that. And when you look at Ryan Moore today, I mean, he's got to be one of the best jockeys in the world. Joe Moreira, I mean, they're fantastic riders. It's very hard to pick out an individual, but they're great riders. That's what the beauty about when you come to Dubai is you ride against the best in the world.
And you've had an association with a number of the top trainers around the world during your time in the saddle. Who are the better ones that you've been able to link up with?
Well, listen, Mark de Kock was definitely very, very inspirational in my career. But just before Mark de Kock, I'd done 7 years with David Payne, and he was South African champion trainer many a times, a gentleman, a true horseman, and we had a lot of success for him. And if it wasn't for him, I might not have ever got the opportunity. He really put me on the map. And when the job was available for Mark, there were no jockeys. Everybody had gone overseas and travelling around the world. And I was fortunate enough. David Payne left for Australia, and I stepped straight into the Mark de Kock yard. So I had 7 years with David Payne and 10 years with Mark de Kock. 17 years. That's nearly half my career I spent with two trainers, and very successful with both of them.
And just finally, Kevin, how would you like racing fans to remember you as a rider?
I don't know. I must say, I left when I have now officially retired. I have got no enemies in racing, trainers, owners, jockeys. I've kept a good relationship. I always like to see people have a good laugh and have a good fun. When it comes to work, you must give 110%, and when it comes to having a bit of fun, you've got to give 120%. But we've had a great time all around the world. I've been fortunate to be in Dubai, England, France, Germany, America, Mauritius, you can name it. It's been fantastic to have all this experience, and it's something I'll never ever forget.
It's been wonderful to reflect on your career, Kevin, and to have a chat with you. Thanks very much for making the time to talk to us today.